Oh my God, Tiffany's here! I had to do that first. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hey everybody, I'm Tasha, and our co-host Tiffany is finally back. We've all missed her. She doesn't think she's wanted in love, but she is. So,
I
show her
never
love
said
on
that.
Twitter or her blog, or email her and just be like, "We love you," because we do. And yeah, she's back. So, welcome to Whiskey, Wine, and Writing a Saturday Night. Time to talk writing. We don't have any guest host or interviews tonight. However, next week we will have Brighton Walsh, whose debut novel is Caged in Winter, out by Penguin, I believe. So she's going to be on Friday night. We'll have a giveaway, and it'll be a lot of fun. Tonight we're just taking it back old school. It's going to be us talking writing and Nano because, Tiff has decided today, just today,
Okay.
that she's going to start Nano. And I don't even know the tidbits on this juicy information yet, but she's going to give it to me. We're going to go from there. So, yeah. So, Tiff, say hi to everybody. They've missed you.
Hi guys, how you doing? It's been quite a while. It has. Except for that one guest spot I did for 30 seconds. Yeah, it's been a while. I can't say I'm back permanently, but I am back for tonight.
Working on it.
I am back for tonight at the very least. So, what's
Oh,
up,
look,
kids?
Nikki gets to watch. Nikki Roberti is one of our most faithful followers of the show, and she and her husband have a tendency of putting us on the big screen in their house, which is really weird just to think that you're not just on a computer.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, a lot of people do podcasts and web shows. She puts us on her TV. It's a little
Wow.
unnerving, I'm just saying.
We both have the rep of saying that we've been on somebody's television, so it's cool.
I guess we did the same thing back in the day when there were still VHS tapes and the big handheld camcorders. So,
I own one of those. I own one of those camcorders.
I don't have that camcorder anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I know my mom, when I was I don't know, 5, put me into a modeling school. I don't know why. According to her, I wanted to do it. I'm like, yes, because I'm 5 years old and I was offered something shiny, so I jumped on that. And so, and so all I remember is at the end of this modeling tape, I'm walking and I look so pissed off. I'm in this black dress. I look like I'm going to a funeral. It has that little white square thing that they made us kids wear back in the day with the old Mary Jane flats. Yeah. And I was just walking down the runway what? I look pissed. What? And then I twirl and I almost fall off the stage.
Dude, you're retarded.
Why, yes.
Thank you for telling our viewers how retarded you looked when you were 5.
I will find a picture. I don't care. I'll show you a picture from when I was 5.
If you guys are actually
My
paying
mom has
attention,
all those pictures. I don't have any of those photo albums. I don't
if you're
get
paying attention to my background, look, this picture right up here in the background. For all the viewers, that's actually me when I was 5, and I have big curly hair because my mom put my hair up in rollers. I look like a tard.
I have massively curly hair, and my mom thought it would be a good idea when I think it was in the 7th grade to give me a perm. Yeah, we're not going to talk about how that turned out. Anyways,
Fantastic.
we're not even talking about writing yet. So Whiskey, Wine, and Writing, we talk about writing, and tonight we're going to be talking about Nano and just some other tidbits and all that good stuff. You can follow me at 30nerdy or Tiff at THoffAuthor. You can also, we do have, if you're watching us on Google Hangouts, we do have the live Q&A panel, so you can feel free to ask us questions there as well. You can catch us on YouTube. The links are on my blog, 30nerdyfabulous.wordpress.com. We'll also be tweeting about it throughout the hour and all that fun stuff. So feel free to join us, get in on the conversation, and have a good time. Speaking of which, since Tiff thinks I'm such a dork, I went to this place called something carousel, I can't remember, and I wound up bringing a bookworm to paint, and it was adult night, so we got to bring booze and food, and then I made an orange bookworm because orange is my favorite color, and yeah, so I did that.
The translation is adults got drunk and made crafts.
Yeah, we did. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the book blank until I actually get published, and then my first published book, I'm going to take a little bit of black paint and put the name across it. And that's going to be my first published book on the bookworm.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm adorable. It's okay.
You are adorable.
All right, so today is
Top-
November 1st. Oh, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't think we've actually like had a. Everybody knows that you and I used to Skype like every day, like a bunch of dorks. I think this is the first time we've actually been on Skype in like what, like two weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's amazing that your internet is actually working. Like, I'm so shocked.
You're gonna jinx it. Now my internet's gonna fuck up.
I've knocked on wood like 30,000 times, so it's all
Well,
gravy, baby. In
you
case
always
you guys who have tuned in late didn't watch the Pitch Wars Whiskey, Wine, and Writing, Tiff and I started this one night when we were just freaking out over this contest we had, and it became a big thing. And then we were going to end it after the contest, but we got so many requests to just continue it that we decided to. But she's been having some issues lately that made it so she couldn't be here permanently, but we're working on making that a staple again.
yeah, just got a new job now and all that good stuff. So I actually just posted a blog again today. It's been like 2 weeks since I posted a
I didn't
blog.
see your one today, but I've been busy as hell today because going back into it is November 1st, which means it's the start of NaNoWriMo.
NaNoWriMo. God damn that contest.
And so if you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it's National Novel Writing Month. And the goal is to create a 50,000 word manuscript minimum. You can go over, but the goal is to write 50,000 words from start to end in November. So from the 1st to the 30th, you want to write 50,000 words. Now, nobody's expecting that to either be a complete manuscript because 50,000 words is a novella. Generally, depending on your genre, which if you're looking to potentially publish this later on, check your genre, check out what your word counts are for it, and go from there. So, it could be anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000, depending on your genre. I would not go over that if this is going to be your first time attempting to publish a book, unless you're self-publishing. But if you're going traditional, don't go over that.
Live on the air, Mars.
It's not going to work. Hi, Mom. I saw her wave. Um,
She said she saw you wave, but we're live on the air, streaming, just so you know.
so,
My mom's not going to step in front of the camera because she knows we're live streaming.
oh, now she
She knows
knows
how
what
many
I'm.
viewers.
Okay, Mom, I see how it is. So, as you can tell, we do this out of our houses, so, expect some hiccups here and there. It's a lot of fun, and you get to laugh at us, so it works out.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't laugh at us? I'm not quite sure there's anybody that doesn't laugh at us. Um, I
It's a
laugh.
lot of fun, and we have a good time, and that's all that matters, so just
All
go.
right. All right. So what are you writing for Nana right now?
Um, I don't know. I'm going with it's again some kind of romance, which I really don't know where all these romance manuscripts are coming from with me. Because I used to write nothing but urban fantasy, and in the last 6 months, Tiff,
Something like that.
I've been writing romance, and like Redemption is a romantic thriller, and now what I'm calling Without Incident is a novel about basically a girl who has been using sex as a form of self-harm. Her brother and some other terrible things that happened that same night or that stemmed from that night, and she's trying to come out of that. So Without Incident, she sits there and she makes notes of basically like a bad workplace, like in factories and stuff where they say it's been 100 days without incident or whatever. She calls each time she screws up an incident, so she keeps track like it's 161 days without incident, without self-harming by having sex and stuff like that. So that's where the title came from. And then it's about learning to love herself so that she can find the beauty within sex, forgiving her mother for the shit she pulled, and forgiving herself for everything that happened.
All right. I like
So,
adult, new adult.
it's somewhere. It's either going to be new adult or adult. I'm not quite sure yet. So your turn.
All right. So yeah, so like if you pay attention to my anybody pays attention to my Facebook fan page, I posted the other day a big list, a title list of all of either the books I've written or the works in progress or the ones that are planned. And so for NaNoWriMo, I was like, I'm just gonna pick one and write that. So I actually am doing. Everybody knows I usually write adult because I don't have the capacity not to use obsessive foul language and stuff. But for NaNoWriMo, I'm actually doing a young adult. It's young adult fantasy. Um, So I'm writing Seabound, which is a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid.
Which, for the record, guys, is totally different than Disney's version, so don't
Yes.
confuse the two.
Yes, if you haven't read Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, it's like a short story. You could probably read it in like an hour. It's very dark. Uh, in Hans Christian Andersen's original version, the Sea Witch, who doesn't have a name, that's the one of the great things about Hans Christian Andersen's version. Nobody has names. It's just the Sea King, the Little Mermaid, the Prince, and the Sea Witch. But in the original version, the Sea Witch actually cuts out Ariel's tongue. I'm going to call her Ariel because that's how everybody knows her from Disney. So the Little Mermaid's tongue. And then she curses her that in human form, every step she takes is excruciatingly painful. So as she's on land with the prince, she has to push through this immense pain that she feels in her legs when she walks. Um, and at the end of Hans Christian Andersen's version, obviously, there's no really happy ending. The Little Mermaid ends up pretty much committing suicide at the end of the original fairy tale.
Because he winds up with the other chick, actually. He winds up getting married to
Yeah, yeah. The prince actually marries somebody else, and there's this whole she can become a mermaid again if she murders the prince, and she refuses to, so she ends up committing suicide instead, and that's how Hans Christian Andersen did it. So I'm doing a retelling. I have no idea what I'm doing for it because I didn't plan. I had intended to pants this entire book anyway. So I'm gonna keep that's definitely gonna be still on the dark side, Hans Christian Andersen-esque, with that darker thing. I mean,
dark feel to it, that sort of morbid gothic feel.
yeah, I mean it may still have a decent ending, but more decent ending along the lines of like Tim Burton Happily Ever After as opposed to Disney Happily Ever After.
We were actually talking about Tim Burton today at my NaNoWriMo region write-in, because every region has a write-in for some of the bigger cities. I'm sure Baltimore does. Might be something you want to check into since you're deciding to do Nano. And I know our ML, our municipal liaison, really well. She's such a sweetheart, and I've been helping her out this year. And so we went there, and we were talking, actually, somebody brought up The Nightmare Before Christmas, which, it's a good movie, but it's not my favorite. But what I was talking about is that I can't believe that they took Tim Burton's, and yes, I'm taking off my shoes because I don't want to wear my boots anymore. I was talking about how some, like, kids movies, I can't believe are kids movies. Like Tim Burton's The Corpse Bride. I'm like, she was crazy, she was a stalker, and it's like, totally what not to do, but they consider it a kids movie. And I love Tim Burton. I love all his twisted movies, and I love how Johnny Depp is usually a part of it, and so is Tim Burton's wife.
Yeah, him and Johnny Depp have been friends for a really long time.
I love his stuff, but to me, it's like, that really shouldn't have been a kids movie. That as an adult movie, awesome. Not a kids movie.
Well, that's like, I mean, talking about like Hans Christian Andersen, I look at like half of the movies that Disney has done, and if you think about it and you know where those movies were inspired from, you realize that none of them were really child friendly before Disney got their hands on them. The Lion King is based on Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Well, yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Cinderella, Rapunzel, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. They're all based on
stuff are taken from classic fairy tales, but those classic
mostly the Grimm brothers and Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, and most of those fairy tales are told in a much different light by the original author. So retelling, for those of you who thinks that retelling is a cop-out or whatever, it's really not, because Disney's done it for years. And, I mean, they're making crazy money, and every story has already been told. It's all in how you tell it. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at Frozen, because Frozen is so huge, Frozen is based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. But Disney just, did it completely different. We actually have a friend, Tasha, you know her, author Vicky Weevil. who is published through Month Nine Books. She had a book that just came out. It's phenomenal, by the way. Pick it up. It's called Crown of Ice. It is a young adult retelling
I thought it
of the
was
Snow
closer
Queen.
to December they were releasing that. I didn't realize that we should.
No, yeah, she's already released.
Awesome.
She released early. She's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal person. She's a phenomenal author. She's helped me out a ton of times.
She's such
So,
a sweetie too. We've been in different chats with her, and she's always so willing to answer anybody's questions on writing and help you out and just
yep,
talk to you. I mean, she is fantastic.
she is. And her book is a retelling of the Snow Queen, and it's a young adult retelling, completely original. And then Tasha and I were big for a while on a forum where we had another author who is published through, God, who is she published through? R.C. Lewis is the author. Her book is called Stitching Snow, which is a sci-fi retelling of Snow White.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm looking forward to reading that one.
Yeah, like I was saying, retellings are done all the time. It's all in a twist and the unique way you make it work.
I think it's also in the fairy tale that you pick because, like, for example, Cinderella has been retold more times than you can count. I chose The Little Mermaid for the simple fact that, other than Disney's version, there haven't been a lot of retellings of The Little Mermaid. And it's my favorite. It's my favorite shorts. One of my favorite short stories. Also, my favorite Disney movie.
Tiff,
Which I chose when I knew I wanted. Yeah.
let yourself catch up because you're blurring out and then your screen went black. So,
Of course.
wait a second. Okay, I think you're back. Actually, you just popped up.
You jinxed it.
Nuh-uh, you're back.
I told you were gonna jinx it though.
Nuh-uh, go on.
Blaming you. But yeah, that's why I chose The Little Mermaid, is because it's one that hasn't been done a shit ton of times. If I ever did another retelling, which I might, I think my other one would be Beauty and the Beast, because that's my other favorite fairy tale.
Weird. My favorite Disney movies are not along the norm. Like Oliver and Company was my
I love that movie.
when I was a kid, and that's a retelling of Oliver Twist.
Yep.
So and it was, dude, I would watch that movie over and over again. And
It doesn't hurt that Billy Joel does one of the voices and sings in that movie, because
yes.
he's fantastic.
And my other favorite was Mulan.
Oh, I love Mulan. Donny Osmond is Shang.
Yeah.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I sat there and I have an entire playlist on Spotify that's nothing but Disney songs. I do. I'm sorry. So, but the Dark Side of the Moon, that song from Mulan, oh my God, it's still one of my favorites to this day. I can listen to it over and over and over again.
It's one of my favorite Disney movies just because of one of the actors that does the voices. So, of course, if you're a child of the 90s, you watched Full House.
Yes.
Okay, so Aladdin.
Oh yeah, it was Steve.
Steve from Full House does the voice of Aladdin, and I just think that's awesome.
Yes.
So Aladdin's always one of my, and because Robin Williams is the genie, it's probably one of the best voiceovers, ever. I want to see. You know what I want to see in the future from Disney?
What?
I want Morgan Freeman to do the voice of a Disney character. I don't care who it is. I need to see Morgan Freeman do a Disney character. Because it's Morgan Freeman. And his voice is amazing, and he should narrate everybody's life. Just saying.
I do love Morgan Freeman's voice. You know who else's voice I love? But at least he was already in a Disney movie, was James Earl Jones. Oh my God.
Oh, because, dude.
But you know what's funny? Okay, going back historically, well, I shouldn't say historically, but I'm going to show my age. In the 80s, there was a movie, and I mean, it's still an awesome movie to watch today, called Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. And
I love that movie.
Okay, he was a prince from Africa. He came to Queens, New York, looking for his bride. Well, James Earl Jones played his father with I can't remember her name. It's a beautiful name. She passed away a few years
She
ago.
does. She does the voice of Sarabi in The Lion
Yes,
King.
she does. She
Yep.
also does the voice of his wife in The
The
Lion King.
Lion King.
I just thought, and that was, and those of you who are also Star Trek fans, Star Trek The Next Generation, you had number one, right? We all know who that is, whose name I can't think of right now, but that's okay. And then you had Deanna Troi, who was the counselor. And they had the on-again, off-again love interest. And what's really funny is that in Gargoyles, the cartoon, he did the voice of Xanatos, and she was Demona, the female gargoyle, who kept rivaling and butting heads with everybody. And I'm like, they love taking people and just putting them back into shows together. And you might not know it at first, but you're sitting there and you're like, why is that familiar? Why is that familiar?
Yep.
And then it just snaps and it all falls into place.
I love James Earl Jones because, one, he did the voice of Mufasa, and two, he did the voice of Darth Vader. So
I've always liked James Earl Jones. I remember him from Field of Dreams, from Coming to America, from
The Sandlot.
The Sandlot, so many movies, and I love him as an actor. And I think he's on Broadway right now doing Driving Miss Daisy, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Driving Miss Daisy is like one of my favorite movies.
I've actually never seen it. So.
Oh my God. It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
That's what everybody said. I need to watch it. So back onto the writing sound. NaNoWriMo, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't participated, do it. But remember, it is a group thing, and I'm going to do a shout-out for my region, which is Fort Lauderdale. You've got the FTL Wrimos, at FTL Wrimos on Twitter, and then there's at FortWriterdale.com where you can see our blog. We have, like, the best municipal liaison. She is out there. She is putting everything together, making sure we have places to go to do write-ins, and she's even in our chat room right now. I mean, and she's got this most adorable, I swear to God, Tiff, she's got the little girl to your little boy that is just too freaking adorable for words. So,
my son is too adorable for words.
Yeah, so, so they're great and they're awesome. So make sure, for those of you in a region that is doing it, you give lots to your municipal liaison. They put out their own money. The only way they make their money back is through donations through your region. Okay, so your money helps to make the things for your region happen because obviously they only have so much money. So make sure you donate and you support your.
I haven't even looked into that. Like, I haven't even looked into like anything for my region because I just started.
Well, yeah,
today.
You know, check into it. It's definitely a lot of fun. Even if you can't attend the physical write-ins, usually your region has a chat room that you can go into. And you can talk with other writers in your region and everything like that. I mean, the people who were at the write-in today, I think there was about 18 of us, and they were just all awesome. We had some word wars, and we had a raffle giveaway that Debbie put together that it was, the basket. And there was like a journal and a planner and a cork board and a book on writing and everything that she just put together, and you raffle it off. And you make money that way. And we were putting together a Nano yearbook. Actually, my sign is hanging up. Hold on, I'll get it. That I made for my yearbook picture. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. I got it. Wait, okay. So is this backwards or is it just backwards on my screen? No, it's going to be backwards because the camera won't yet. So, 30 Nerdy Fabulous. So this is my little thing, and I held it up. And if you look at FTL Wrimos, you'll see my picture of me all hanging out and being dorky and holding the Fort Lauderdale Wrimo sign. So, it was a lot of fun. Definitely have a lot of fun. You get very motivated. I wrote over 4,000 words today for Nano from doing word sprints. That's why. Get involved in the word sprints, whether it's online, at the write-ins, whatever. You will write so much more than you think you can. So, Tiff is having a moment. Her heated, which means I am talking to myself again, which we all know turns out to be very, very, interesting. So, but no, NaNoWriMo definitely. A couple of things to follow is the at Nano Word Sprints. They do word sprints 24/7. Of course, at NaNoWriMo. Check out your region in the forums. and go from there. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet different people. You'll get a great support group. Great support group. Everybody's always so supportive. You'd be surprised in the writing community. I know that a lot of times you can find some elitist who just think their writing is perfect, but really the majority of the writing community is not like that. You find so many people who are so supportive, and I totally just lost Tiff. Not awkward at all. But you find so many people who are so very supportive between NaNoWriMo and Twitter, and just putting yourself out there. If you sit in a dark corner just to write, I know they say that writing is a very solitary art form. It's not exactly true. The more you put yourself out there and the more of a support group you get between critique groups and Twitter and just talking to people, you're going to find that you have so much support that on those days when you're feeling down and like this is, you're never going to be good enough and stuff like that, you're going to have 10 people come out of the woodwork and be like, shut up, you are fine. You're being hard on yourself and everything else, and it's happened to me. And I've sat there and I've been like, oh my God, is this, am I good enough to do this? And I've had people like and like Nikki Roberti, who's over here cheering me on in my monologue, tell me, yes, it's gonna be okay. You're better than you think you are. Stuff like that. And I've noticed that if you do writing on your own, if you do writing in that dark corner, when those thoughts, when those self-doubts come up, you don't have anybody to cheer you on to help you get through it. You're just kind of stuck doing it on your own. And sometimes that chaotic voice takes over the voice of reason. And yeah. So you wind up kind of feeling pretty down and out, and maybe you stop writing for a while. Whereas if you have that support group, if you've put yourself out there, if you've let yourself find other people to talk to and be be a community with, you're going to find that support and that love and that cheering on you're going to need to get through this career that we're all striving for. So, and apparently, I just got my name from Tiffany that I jinxed her. I shouldn't have said anything about her computer. I'm sorry. She's trying to get back in now, hopefully. If not, I'll probably wind up wrapping this up so you do not have to listen to my voice on my own, just talking and talking and talking and talking. So yeah, make sure you find that support group. Make sure you find people who are willing to support you. And don't know the difference between having a support group and people telling you that your writing is perfect all the time. Nobody's writing is perfect. It's so far from it. You have to work at it. And if you put your work out there, you have to expect people to say, okay, well, look, here's what you can do differently to make it stronger. This is a very passive section. You're using was and were, or you've got the dreaded adverb coming out, ly, and then next, very, academic writing that you don't want in your manuscript. If you come into this thinking that it's going to be perfect as soon as you put it out there, it's never going to be. It's really not. So know the difference between that support group trying to help you and saying, look, you can try to do this to make it, and having, I guess, cheerleaders who just say everything is perfect, because you're going to want a support group that helps you make your manuscript better. You don't want people to just say it's great, rah, rah, rah. You want them to point out the differences and, a spelling error that maybe the word processor didn't pick up because it's not a misspelled word, but it's the wrong word altogether. You're going to want to you about that and point those things out to you. So when it comes that time and you send it to an agent or you send it to an editor, you've got that ironed out and it gives you a better shot at being published. So, you got to kind of, I know a lot of people call it a thick skin, and I'm really trying to bide time here because Tiff is really trying to get back in. I know a lot of people call it a thick skin. I don't really think it's a thick skin per se. I think it's accepting the fact that even Hemingway wasn't really a Hemingway. He was a great writer, but even he said the first draft is crap. You have to edit, 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 edit. And so, writing is work. And if you think your first draft is just going to come out perfect, or even your fifth draft is going to come out perfect, I guarantee you're going to find a word in there that 20 people miss, but that 21st person who's going to come in there and be like, oh, you missed this. And you're going to be like, son of a bitch. And I see Tiff's picture. She's so pretty, so hopefully she's going to be coming back in here in a second. So, yeah, make sure you know the difference. It's not a thick skin. It's realizing that you're not a perfect writer. Nobody's a perfect writer. Editing and reviewing and doing it again. And hi, Tiff. Do you know how long
I
I've been
told you, like, I told you not to say anything about my laptop or you were gonna jinx me. And instead of the internet fucking up, the whole motherfucking thing overheated. It's your fault.
It's my fault it overheated. Okay, guys, we need to start a pool to get Tiffany a new laptop that isn't a POS.
Yeah, it's not that serious, y'all. I paid $800 for this laptop, man. Like, it's not a bad laptop. It's just,
It's overheating. Clearly, it's. Wait, what is your laptop on? Is it like on a desktop, like a Surface? It shouldn't be overheating.
I had it sitting on my mom's cloth placemat. My bed.
That's gonna make it overheat. Don't do that. It's no bueno. So.
I'm just saying, this is a middle finger and it's just for you.
Well, come on, that's common sense. You don't put cloth under your laptop. You even if you want to like put it on your lap, we all know that's gonna make it hot. You get one of those little fan top thingies that you put underneath it. So
Look,
that's my fault. It was your fault for not figuring this out beforehand, Missy. Okay, they're tired of hearing my voice because I just gave this really long monologue while you were gone about writing communities and having support and the difference between having cheerleaders and people who support you to help your manuscript better. So, hi, welcome back. Your turn.
All right, what are we talking? Okay, so here's a random, not writing related thing. So I've never really been into sports. As you guys know, I live in Baltimore. So football is pretty big here, so I'm proud to say that I am finally starting to watch football. I'm now a Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm drinking out of my Baltimore Ravens coffee cup, and my friends don't all hate me now because I actually watch the games. So cheers for that.
Okay, that's so not writing related. But then,
I know. What do you want me to talk about writing related? You got to give me a topic. I'm not really firing on all pistons today.
well, how about the fact that you were like, I'm not gonna write anymore, and I was all a bitch, and I'm like, yes, you are gonna write. And
You know, I did go through with with everything going on. I did. I've had a lot of trouble writing. I'll be the first to admit it. Um, and it's hard. It's hard for me specifically to hit writer's block because of coming off of the auction block and writing half of Gallows in the amount of time that I did. That's why NaNoWriMo has never been a big deal for me because you write NaNoWriMo is 50,000 words in 30 days, and I wrote 105K novel in 13 days, which was the auction block. So coming off of that, that writing high that I had, and then I turned around as soon as I was done that, as we were doing edits, in a matter of 7 days, I banged out 50,000 words on the Gallows at midnight. So and the Gallows is only like 40,000 from being done. And then life happened, obviously. And I don't, for those of you who are on my Facebooks and stuff, if you've noticed, I don't talk publicly about, I don't talk publicly often about what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
But it's been hard, and I did get to the point where the desire to write at all, writing, editing, blogging, it wasn't there. I had absolutely no desire to put words on paper, and every time I sat down and tried, I might have written anywhere from 3 to 5 sentences. Like I was getting literally a paragraph out at a time. And I did. I went through where I didn't know if I was really going to just keep doing this anymore. Obviously, I got hate mail from this asshole.
yes, I did. I'm like, I'm cursing right now. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That you are quitting writing? No, you're not. And that goes back to what I was saying about how that's where your support group comes in. If she was writing in a corner all by herself, she wouldn't be writing anymore. Because she wouldn't have the asshole like me to turn around and be like, no, bitch, you're not giving up. I'll give you a break. I understand you need a break. You're not giving up. It's not good. No. Just
But yeah, and I'm not back to writing the way I was, obviously,
but she's writing. Sorry if
yeah,
you hear that. Apparently, all the sirens are going off.
but I'm attempting to write, and I just posted a blog. I did post a blog today that continues from my last one about finding balance, because now with the new job, for those of you that don't know, I accepted a position through the temp agency that I work for. Bookworm. Uh, the position that I took is actually a graveyard shift. It's an overnight job from 9 p.m. till 7 a.m. I have 3 kids, so
Very adorable kids.
3 very adorable, beautiful. They're my world. Everything that I'm going through. Uh, as you guys have heard me the last time when Tosh and I were doing whiskey writing, when I said my, typical mom bitching about my kids, but through everything that I'm going through, I tell you what, those kids, they're my savior. If it was not for those kids, I wouldn't do anything. I'd probably just be like laying in bed drunk every day through everything that I'm going through. Those kids keep me sane, and they keep me moving forward. So thank God for them. But you know what? Tasha's not the only one who's given me support. Everybody in our neurotic writers group that we run on Facebook, and everybody on Twitter. 670 followers. I've still continued to gain followers even though I have not been active on social media. Um, Everybody who follows the fan page, I've gotten emails, from people that I don't even know that are like, hey, I know you're going through a rough time. If you ever need to talk, here's my cell phone number. All of that, keeps me going. And I know that you guys don't know the specifics. Tasha does, obviously. But thank you very much. I'm not one of those people who usually does public thank yous. I also don't do public apologies. So if I ever offend you, don't ever expect me to publicly apologize. Um, what can what I can say is that uh, keep on repeat because it helps. It's a country song by Sarah Evans called "A Little Bit Stronger." Um, that's every day right now, and it's partially because of the support that I have through you guys with social media and the friends that I do have in real life. So every day, guys, every day I get a little bit better. Every day gets a little bit easier. So I haven't gone and given up yet.
Every
So don't
day
worry.
bring her back to her regular writing schedule. So she's not allowed to give up. I already told her that. Like, no, I wouldn't let her. She got so mad at me too. She didn't say it, but
Occasionally I'll log on social media and I'll get a message that reminds me of why I write. I actually logged on the other day. I had posted an excerpt from the book I'm writing called Ghost Flames, which is a book that I just work on a little bit at a time, and I'm doing it as fiction, but it is actually a chronological, detailed, basically storyline of how I became a paranormal investigator. And it starts in 1993, which was when I was 6, and my first paranormal experience. And it goes through the last it'll go through the last 14 years of my paranormal career. And I had posted an excerpt, and one of the guys from my paranormal team, John, shout out to John Watcher, love you. He actually John and I have never talked about writing or anything like that. John's one of my tech guys. He's fantastic. He actually posted me a thing, and he was like, I've never told you this before, but I think your writing is phenomenal, and I love everything that you post, that you've written. And, it was this, whole, like, big paragraph. I was just like, oh, I was like, John likes my writing. Like, it was one of those things because he's never, John and I have never talked about writing like that, and I've never really, like, let him read anything.
yeah, you go through these bouts though where you kind of think
I
nobody
do.
cares. And so I can say it till I'm blue in the face, but because I talk to her all the time and she knows I'm going to do it regardless, it's become one of those, well, you're my mom, you have to say that kind of things.
I have a serious complex against accepting compliments in all forms. That's not just about my writing.
No,
Like,
it's not. But even if I tell her she's awesome, it's again like the whole, well, you're my mom, you have to say that thing because she knows I'm going to tell her. But at the same point, I will totally tell her if she's being a bitch or being stupid or whatever, which again she doesn't like, but I'm going to say it anyway. Um,
he's told me that a couple times over the last couple of weeks too.
I have. But when it comes from the people who care the most, we don't always listen. So, but when you have that random spurt of, oh my God, I love your writing, or oh my God, this was really nice of you, and oh my God, this was just cool of you, that's kind of what boosts people. But at the end of the day, I think it is more the people who are there all the time
I'm
because
gonna
you
get a
feel that
flood of
buffer between
I'm gonna get a flood of
hitting the
tweets now.
floor hard and bouncing back up.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna get a flood of tweets from
Good.
people that are just like, "Hey, you're the shit."
At Hoff author.
Careful, guys. I'm an Aries, so if you make my ego too big, it's gonna be hard to deflate that bitch later on. Um,
Lots of pins. Don't worry about it. She needs it right now.
yeah.
Inflate her ego, and then I'll poke some holes in it later to
So I
kind
can
of inflate
so I
it.
can fit back through the door. Be all right.
Not to where you were, just to make sure you don't have that big head, and nobody needs to knock you off your high horse, or where you need to be, not too high, not too low, just.
Yeah. It is one of those things. I mean, I think a lot of time people assume that writers, that we don't have real lives. Um,
God,
and
that was
it's
true.
this situation that I've been in. This has been since the end of August. That I've been going through what I'm going through, and it's probably the most trying um, time that I've went through in the last decade. Um, and on one hand, this is something that I chose. The situation that I'm particularly in is a situation that I chose. Um, doesn't make it any easier because I chose it, but you may sometimes you
Nobody makes a choice because they think it's bad. It doesn't mean it's easy.
yeah. But like I said, every day gets a little bit better, and keep pushing on. I got more books to work on than I can shake a stick at, so eventually, um, I will get them all done. Seabound right now. I think when NaNoWriMo's over, I'm slowly starting to make a list again. So I think when NaNoWriMo's over, we're gonna go back and try to finish Gallows. Um, And then I think we're actually going to leave for those of you that don't know, the auction block, the Gallows at Midnight, and the third book, which is called Requiem of a Sex Slave. They're all part of.
He's gonna cry.
They're all part of a trilogy called the Slave Enders trilogy. And Tasha, you're going to have to take over for one sec. My son's crying, so I'll be right back.
Okay, this falls back onto the writers have real lives, and
Yes,
apparently
writers have their lives.
getting stuck with the monologues. And yeah, no, I think if writers didn't have real lives, that there'd be a lot more writers or a lot more published writers because a lot of people write, but life tends to come in the way, and that again is where your support group comes in, telling you to keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Even if you're writing 5 words a day, you're gonna get there, but you got to keep writing. So that's where your support group comes in. So don't hide in a hole with writing. Hopefully Tiff will be back soon. But don't hide in your hole with writing because that's going to let all the shadows consume you. Eventually the shadows will consume you. You need that support group to be your light at the end of the tunnel where they help you and they, make things better and, give you that boost you need when you need it. So, just do your best and don't be afraid to put your work out there. I can tell you right away that your first draft, you're going to get a lot of people suggesting stuff and editing stuff. And we've said this before on the show, it comes down to stuff you don't have to take every suggestion that's given to you. If you did, dear God, your book would not be your book anymore. It really wouldn't. You'd be changing it to fit everybody's aspect, and you're going to get somebody who says you need to change this. Second you change it, somebody else is going to say change it back. You have to find that balance and keeps the voice, as opposed to just listening to what everybody else has to say, because no matter what, everybody's got an opinion. Favor and don't stalk your bad reviewers and your naysayers, okay? Somebody got a bottle broken over their head, and then there's this whole, I don't know, people are crazy, but yeah, don't stalk. You know, I don't care if you're a guy or you're a girl. It's bad. So, Tiff's back. Oh, hi, Emma.
Oh, hello, Emma.
Emma is going to be publishing her book in January. She's going to go ahead and self-pub because she's awesome and her book is awesome. And I've been reading. I haven't finished it yet because, dear God, I've been trying to get through this friggin' second 8-week Spanish class, and she's like, I think she's bored with it, and I'm really not. I haven't been CPing for anybody. It's not just you. I'm taking 3 classes in 8 weeks to make sure I graduated, and I just got accepted to my university of choice to transfer over to. So it's like, I'm losing my mind. But I'm doing my best. And now NaNoWriMo's here. It's 50K in 1 month. I'm going to make it work somehow, and Emma, I promise I'm going to finish CPing your book. I swear, before January.
50K in 1 month is like, what do you do? You say 50K in 30 days, like that's hard.
For some people, my love, it is. And it can be for me with these 3 classes going on right now. You know? I'm doing 3 classes in 8 weeks, one of them being a foreign language. I'm going to lose my mind, but I'm going to walk that stage in December. It's going to happen.
I know. If I had time off, I would totally be coming down there for your graduation.
No, you can watch it on live stream, though. My college actually does a live stream of it. But, no, you wouldn't be able to because I only get 5 tickets, which is my mom, my dad, my brother, my husband, and my grandfather.
That's all right. I'd find a way.
She's like, Alex, yeah.
I would find a way. But I will, if you send me the link to the live stream, I will watch the live stream the day you graduate.
I will put the live stream.
My mom said she'll watch your graduation, too. We'll watch you graduate.
So, but yeah. So I'm so sorry I haven't gotten to that, Emma. I promise I'm going to just
Don't do that. You look like a retarded Joan Rivers when you like pull your face back like that.
Oh my God, don't no. No, I've never had plastic surgery. It's all unnatural. I will age. It's okay. Aging.
No, I didn't mean she looked dead. She like. Both of my parents are like, if she looks like Joan Rivers, then she looks dead.
Thank you. Okay, that's like so mean. Okay. Yes, you can tell your parents that I said you're mean tonight.
My parents know that I'm mean.
Oh, okay. Well, I still get to.
I'm their daughter. Are you kidding?
She
said, tell your parents.
Tell Natasha, don't make me get in front of that camera.
And I said,
Tell Natasha
We
she's
know.
not really our daughter, or crucial offensive son.
that's it. See, now you know where I get the mean at.
I
From
see.
them. From my dad. I am my father's daughter. Yeah, because you're just a,
nice.
by the way, guys, this is what we meant by writers have real lives. Yeah, because you're just a fucking picnic, Ma. What, a picnic in the rain with... Don't try to use Natasha to make it sound like you're nice.
Hey, she's always saying I'm.
She does say hi to me all the time. She's really awesome. I love your mom.
I love my mom
Yes, tell her, I will call her out if she's mean too. I'm not gonna lie. So.
I just don't tell my mom I love her because then she expects me to do stuff for her.
No, I asked her, what do you want?
Yeah, usually when I say I love my mom, she goes, yeah, what do you want now?
Emma, that's mean. Emma says, liar, we all know you're like 50, Tosh. Give me your plastic surgeon's number. I'm so not 50. If I was in my 50s, it'd be my mother's age. My own mom. How weird would that be?
Television.
No.
I'd be utterly weird. I'd be my own mom.
I like can't carry like 2 conversations at the same time, so like I'm trying to like listen to you and they're talking, and I'm just like.
All right, so the moral of the story, as we already hit 11:50, 50-50 here, and things are going sideways, and I'm getting threatened by Tiff's parents because I called her mean, and you know.
No, they're agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Okay, then good, awesome, because I love them, so they're awesome. But anyways, we're gonna start wrapping up here, so we can get back to our writing for NaNoWriMo, because I know Tiff has catching up to do, because I'm already over 4K,
Yeah.
and she can't let me beat her in word count. It's no bueno.
You won't beat me at the end.
We'll see what happens.
Don't matter if you beat me now.
So the moral of the story is have your support group, but know the difference between having a support group who doesn't care if you get mad at them for what they say, and telling you, okay, look, your manuscript could be stronger, or you're in a funk and you need to get the fuck out of it, whatever. Don't look for the cheerleaders who are just like, oh, this is awesome, oh, this is great, oh my god, so awesome. Like, no, you don't want that. You're not going to get better if nobody tells you what's wrong. And just like I'm and quit writing, you need to find that support group who's going to sit there and turn around and be like, you can't just give up, or whatever. So.
And and on that same line, guys, don't get discouraged because life happens. It happens. Sometimes you gotta just roll with it. And for us writers, everything that happens in life ends up being a story. So just remember that, that everything that I'm going through actually inspired another contemporary romance that I'm working on called No Strings Attached. So.
Yeah. So don't. Everybody gets discouraged once in a while, and everybody goes through their funks. We get that. We do. But giving up on your dream because you're going through a bad spell. I don't care if you're a writer, you're a painter, you want to be a business guru, whatever. Giving up on your dream because you hit a bump in the road in life. That's where your support group comes in, because they're not going to let you do it. They're just not.
Yep. I feel you. I'm down with what she said.
Exactly. It's because you're off. So, Tiff, you should be able to be here for Friday with Brighton, right?
What time is it? Yeah, I'm coming off of a 50-hour work week, but I will do my best to be here on time.
So, I'll be announcing Jennifer Blackwood's giveaway on my blog, the winner for that, tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get that e-copy to the winner. And then Brighton is also going to be doing a giveaway for Caged in Winter. So we'll talk about that. Also, a few weeks after that, I believe we have Rhonda Helms from Carina Press, who just put out Scratch, which I swear to God, I just got consumed by that book. It was really fantastic. I suggest picking it up. Brighton's actually doesn't come out till the 4th, so you can't pick hers up just yet, but you can pre-order it. Pre-order it. And then Rhonda Helms' Scratch, just fantastic, phenomenal read. New adult romance, really original concept, I think, that I haven't seen in a new adults. So definitely pick it up. I can't comment on Brighton's yet because I know I'm gonna love it. I've read some of Brighton's work and it's fantastic. I just can't wait for it to actually be out so I can get it.
Brighton's fantastic.
Yeah, Brighton is gorgeous. She's fun. She's smart. She's always willing to help other people, and she's a really fantastic author. So definitely pre-order Caged in Winter. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Nobles. It's on all Kobo, all of them.
And why we're pimping authors, so I'll send you all off with a pimping couple favorite authors of mine that I actually know. So eventually on the show we're going to have author Matthew Cox. I know we have that in the works, but Matt is published through Curiosity Quills. Go on Amazon. All of his books are fantastic. He writes steampunk. So Virtual Immortality, Division Zero, Caller 107, along with a few others. He's got
Caller 107 is really, I really got to, he gave me an art copy of that.
Yep. I have a signed copy. I wish I could take you guys in and show you, but my kids are sleeping. My bedroom walls are actually 2 posters on either side, and then a framed one. I have a poster. They're all signed by Matt. He sent them all to me. Prophet of the Badlands, Virtual Immortality, and Caller 107 covers. I have hanging on my bedroom wall, I have a signed copy of Caller 107, and I have ebook copies of just about all of his other work. He is fantastic. Also, I mentioned earlier Crown of Ice by Vicky Weevil through Month 9 Books. And right now, what I'm reading, just because I decided I was going to do Seabound, I decided to go read some dark shit to get in the dark mind frame. So I'm actually rereading a complete works of Edgar Allan Poe right now. If you want to read my favorite story by Edgar Allan Poe, A Telltale Heart. A Telltale Heart.
I called it. You never told me that before. I totally called it.
Yep, my favorite story.
It really is. It's twisted and it's awesome. And it's really.
This shows you how well we know each other. So yes, if you want to read something good tonight, just for a quick read, pick up Edgar Allan Poe's A Telltale Heart.
So Emma just posted that she has to be on while Brighton is guest starring, so she can lick the screen.
And I can't make any comments.
Brighton during Pitch Wars. For those of you who didn't follow the Pitch Wars madness with us, Brighton was one of the mentors, and the mentors had to pick a mentee, and some mentees, their manuscripts were so good that the mentors were like, mine, mine, mine. Well, Brighton has a thing with licking, and that just sounded bad. But if you look back on her Twitter feed, she was like, no, I licked this manuscript. You understand? I licked it. It's mine. I have ownership over it. Okay? Sorry, Brighton. I don't mean it to sound bad. You know what I'm talking about, but it's okay. She was just like, no, I licked it. It's mine. It's my manuscript. Done. End. That's why Emma's like, I have to lick the screen, because Brighton licks things to own them.
Pretty much. That was definitely a fun night. Her and Rebecca Yarros were probably my most fun evenings.
Oh no, come on, Ben Brooks and all of our guest stars for the Pitch Wars were fantastic. They really were.
And
Rebecca Yarros, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of her book, but it was so good. I read it in like 3 hours.
Yeah, there's so much fun. We have way too much fun with people on this show.
We do, and we get to meet some really, really great authors.
We do.
And it's Full Measures, that's it. And I can remember so many scenes in that book vividly and everything. I'm like, really? I can't remember the damn name of the book. I am so terrible with stuff like that. The Full Measures, check it out. It's also another really good read. I mean, we got really lucky meeting all these wonderful authors. And so we're always glad to have authors and agents and editors on. And we get to learn some stuff, we get to talk, and just have fun. So feel free to come back and join us. But we have hit our hour limit, and Tiff will be here next week for Brighton.
Don't forget to turn your clocks back, guys.
Oh yeah, that is tonight, isn't it?
It is.
So turn your clocks back. Gives you an extra hour to write if you're doing Wrimo.
Yeah, or an extra hour of sleep.
Okay, an extra hour to write. The same amount of sleep that you usually get. That's what we're going. You want to write. Right. Sleep. You don't need sleep.
Who needs sleep? What's the sleep you speak of? What?
Sleep you're talking about. No, you want to hit that 50K word goal, right? Okay, then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're going to sign off.
Guys.
Follow us at 30nerdy, at thoffauthor, and you can check out, if you missed the beginning of it, the replay will be on my blog, 30nerdyfabulous.wordpress.com. So have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week with Brighton Walsh. Have a good night.